Hey, Brother Barry back here again. I want to do another video continuing on what we've been talking about as far as what a real man is. Us to stop making excuses and let's get the work done, because there's a lot of work to do. Our country's in a mess, and we want to blame it on everything. You want to blame it on politics. We want to blame it on the media. We want to blame it on people playing on their phones while they're driving. We want to blame it on the economy. Blame it on aliens, whatever. We become a people of blaming. So what I'm trying to do with these videos is, I mentioned another one, 59 years old. I have 4 biological kids and 5 adopted. They're all grown up and left home. It's just my wife and I now. My wife and I are fixing to celebrate our 41st wedding anniversary. She was my high school sweetheart. We met when we were 16, and she's the only woman I've ever been with. And I want to start out by saying, y'all, I'm not a real man. I am not trying to come across as I've got all the answers and I've arrived, because I haven't. But I've learned so much, especially over the last few years now that I have grandkids. I have 12 grandchildren, and I've learned so much through the course of life, and I would just want to share that, because as a youth minister for about 6 or 7 years and a pastor for 9 years, I really see a growing problem with what's going on, not just in our country, but around the world. I mean, the family is under attack, and we know that. You don't need me telling you that. But what's going on, really? So I wanted to start this one on kind of saying what a man isn't, a real man isn't. And what that is kind of what Hollywood is pushing at us, and the media and advertising, and millions and millions, billions of dollars get thrown into the industry of trying to make us be what they want us to be and to chase what they want us to chase. I don't want to use actors for these examples, because I don't know the actors, and they're playing a part. Doesn't mean that's what they are, but they're playing a part. So I wanted to kind of use the roles that they play as examples of what the world is trying to make us. And this video is a good one for men, women, and children, because I'm kind of going to address all that. But let's talk about the world's definition of a real man. Aquaman, Iron Man, our heroes that are coming across some of these movies, 007, Jason Bourne, John Wick, these images of men that are being thrown at us constantly, and it's making us, get the idea that's what a real man is. It's all about how big you are, and I'm not just talking about, your muscles or your height. You know what I'm saying. How good you are at doing things and performance, and everything is performance and visual based, I guess would be the best way to put it, for what the world is trying to make us believe men are supposed to be. But this is where it gets tricky. I want to give you an example. Let's take someone like Aquaman. Heartthrob, we all know it, guys. We all know these girls just melt over guys like that, and the images that they portray. And then let's take a person like Pa from Little House on the Prairie. Now, you got those two examples. And I know that's going back a ways, but you kind of got to do that now if you want to try to make a good comparison, because there's not a whole lot of people like Pa from Little House on the Prairie to compare to in modern media, because that is not what the world wants us to think. So you tell me, women, if you're a woman and you're coming out of high school, going into college, you're looking for that one, the one that's gonna take care of you and not leave you and be faithful to you and have eyes only for you and work hard and not try to compete with you about who's got the bigger ego or whatever, but it's gonna be what you think you would like to have for a lifetime mate. And I would love for y'all to post some responses to this so that other people can see. And maybe I'm just out of my mind. Maybe I'm a dinosaur and a relic, and I'm talking to the wrong world. Now, I am 59, so I'm from another generation, but who would you rather have for your life mate? Aquaman, or that type of person, or Pa from Little House on the Prairie? There's a big difference between those two. Big difference in ideology, big difference in stature, big difference in what we would call manhood. But I would really like to know, women of the world, this is going out to you right now, because I'm going to be working on this series for a while, because I believe the biggest problem in our world right now is men. And I believe that with my whole heart, because I've been working with men my whole life. I didn't have anybody in my life to share these things that I'm bringing forth in these videos. I didn't have any mentors. I don't even know if I had any Christian men, that I would say were the image of Pa from Little House on the Prairie. They had principles and morals and ethics and, work ethics particularly, but, family ethics, love ethics, would give their life for their wife, for their children. I really didn't have any of that in my life. And so when I grew up and started working with people as a minister, I started learning a lot about what I missed and what should have been given to me, in my younger years. And really, that was way back. I'm a 70s kid. I was born in 64, grew up in the 70s. Things have changed a lot since then. So even then, the things that we were not getting as young men and boys that we're without, we don't know what to do. We don't have examples to follow. And the examples that are being put in front of us are not examples we should be following. Look, I'm a superhero guy too. My favorite superhero was Captain America. And it wasn't because of how big he was, because I liked him before he got big, when he was just a little guy. Because he had heart and he had morals and he cared, and he would lay down his life, for his friends. And he didn't have any family yet, but I bet if he did, he'd lay down his life for them even quicker. But the guy had character, and that's what's missing out of these characters that are coming at us all the time, whether it be billboards or music. I mean, look at the music stars in this country. Oh my gosh, you guys, y'all that were not from my generation, that would not have been tolerated 20 or 30 years ago. The way they parade around half naked, the way everything is so full of lust and flesh and ilk, it would not have gone over, and now it's just business as usual. I heard something the other day, a term called clickbait. Never heard that term before. I'm new to this whole video thing, but clickbait. So, we have clickbait that helps us to stay from swiping. And I'm realizing why that is now that I'm doing this, because we get the statistics on this stuff, and basically only about 27% of the people who open any of the videos I've made watch it. The rest swipe it away. So you know what? This is for those who want to watch it. So women, do me a favor, respond to this video and tell me what you think a real man should be. And I'm not talking about passion or lust or physique, or I'm talking about you're in college, you're looking for the mate, and what kind of man do you want to spend the rest of your life with? And remember, we're all going to get old, we're all going to get wrinkly, and we're all going to lose whatever that is animal magnetism when we're young. So think through to the end, and you're going to have kids with this man. So what kind of man do you want for your kids? So give me some of this stuff and some feedback so I can build on it, because I want to help. So we know what Hollywood is trying to get us to believe: wealth, power, strength, masculinity, all these things. And those things are not bad. I'm not saying that they're bad. But what I am saying is those things are not what makes a real man. And we need to start identifying what makes a real man. I like to fish. I'm an offshore fisherman. I live off the Atlantic, and I used to live off the Gulf. And me and one of my son-in-laws, we're notorious for going too far out. The further out, the bigger the fish, kind of thing. And you get 115 miles offshore, and say your GPS goes out, and you've got to get back by compass. Do you know that if you're just about a half a degree or a degree off on that compass reading, and you're coming back from 100 miles out, you're going to miss your dock by miles. I mean miles. And it's not going to be a short miss either. You're going to miss it by a lot, because you've got 100+ miles of traveling in the wrong direction. Even if it's just a little bit in the wrong direction, that equals a lot over 100 miles. So what we call it is small course corrections. When you're navigating and you're trying to get to a place, you use small course corrections. Ever wonder why diets aren't working anymore? I've been fighting weight my whole life. I go on a vacation, I put on 10 pounds, even if I try to eat right. It's just the way of things. But why don't diets work? Because you hit it hard, you're making drastic changes, they're big changes, and you can't maintain that. It's just not feasible. But what if you made little changes? Like for me, I've eliminated sodas from my diet. I just started doing that, but I'm finding out all this stuff about sodas and what they do to our metabolism and to our blood sugar, and why we're also, facing diabetes now. And so I've tried eliminating sodas from my diet, and I've been trying to do some intermittent fasting where you just take a break from eating for a while. Sometimes 16, 18, 24 hours, take a break from eating and let your body do what it's supposed to do. It's the perfect machine. But diets don't work, because you're making large course corrections too fast. And it's the same when navigating through life. If you start out young and you make small course corrections, by the end of your life, you're going to be a winner. You're going to succeed. You won't be like me and be 59 years old and still trying to get all the crud out of your head and your heart so that you can do this thing right, because we come out pretty good. We come into this world ready to go and equipped. It's the world that messes us up so bad. So small course corrections. So I've started posting videos on Real Man Basics, number 1, number 2, number 3. I don't know how far it's going to go. I could probably go 100, but just one minute short bursts of what a real man looks like according to the one who made us. And I know if you're not religious, you're not into the whole Christianity thing, you may not even believe in God.